John Coltrane is one of the biggest names in jazz history. He is generally regarded as one of, if not the, best saxophone players that ever lived. A lot of people may not realize he was born and spent the first 17 years of his 40-year life in North Carolina. For fans of Trane old and new, his music is still very much alive. I cover his life, struggles with addiction, and incredible career in 2 short video documentaries that are linked here. But if you want to experience Coltrane's early life in North Carolina, there are several sites you may want to visit. North Carolina is unique in that you can see not one, but both of Trane's homes where he grew up. Starting in the small town of Hamlet, about 2 hours east of Charlotte, you can see his very first home where he lived as a baby. Now dubbed the Coltrane Blue Room, the tiny apartment sits next to an NAACP office within walking distance to the quaint downtown. It's also a short walk to the impressive old-style train station that was built in 1900 and was in existence when Coltrane was born. His parents would have been familiar with this station. Right around the corner from the old Main Street is an attention-grabbing mural of the man himself. This mural was painted by artist and musician Scott Nurkin in 2020, and he has a series of giant murals around the state, all in the hometowns of the artist he depicts. This one may be one of the largest, and it's definitely worth checking out while you're in Hamlet. Coltrane's grandfathers were both ministers, one in Hamlet and one in High Point, and while John was still an infant, his family moved to High Point. The house where he spent his childhood is being preserved and still stands in an old part of town. This is where young Coltrane began to learn music and set off on his lifelong passion. At the age of 12, his father and grandparents all died within a short span, and John would continue to be raised here by his mother and a cousin. A short walk away from his home stands William Penn High School, which still has some of the original structure even though modern additions exist there today. This is where Trane actually learned clarinet and also alto horn. He also played in a community band here in High Point. If you head over to the highly modernized but still small downtown of High Point, you can visit the corner where the town has honored John Coltrane with a memorial statue. There's also a bit of information about his life in High Point as well. Coltrane lived in High Point until the age of 17 when his family moved to Philadelphia, where he would officially enter the budding jazz scene there. There are sites in Philly and New York where Coltrane lived and played that are still around today, so if you want to continue the journey, you can also explore those. I hope this video has been helpful, and I encourage you to dig into Trane's music. His catalog goes deep, and he played with a ridiculous amount of the top jazz musicians of his time. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want more of these. And if you do go to Hamlet and/or High Point, be sure to tell him Geekorman sent you. Thanks.